I was going to join a couple. I was officiating a wedding, and we were reading the marital vows, and we got to the part where it says, for better, for worse. And the lady said, for better, for better. I said, I'm going to stop this marriage here and I'm going to walk off the altar. Because if you need to focus on what the terms say. It says, through all, when you are making your vows, the marital vows, that's from the very beginning, through all the seasons of life. So it talks about the seasons of life. And in the seasons of life, there will come times when it is good. There will come times when it is not good. It's like a cycle.
While you are still single, build yourself to really be the head of the home so that you don't meet your situation where your wife is so equipped to either provide best decision, but because you're, for the lack of a better word, incompetent. That's the lack of that. Because you're incompetent to actually lead, you know, and then everyone can see that your wife seems to be the better leader or seems to be the one that makes better decisions, and it goes for both ways. So when I say people that are single, I'm like, maximize your singlehood. You know, build yourself, your character development. If you need the Holy Spirit to prune you, to kill those things that are in your flesh, so that when you're entering your home, you're bringing your value as a husband, being the head, as the wife, you're supporting.
In the event that you have people that you can live in peace with, then as much as possible, leverage that support system. So support systems are really important. If I want to speak for myself and my career, support systems, my goodness. You know, there are scriptures in the Bible that you can actually use to pray when you're asking for support. Number of them. Number one, the story of Naaman, the girl that referred them to the prophet in Israel so that Naaman could be healed of his leprosy. The second one, Abraham trusting his servant to the point of asking him to go and find a wife for his son. So the future of Israel, that whole promise of God depended on that servant for a period. What kind of servant was that? So when you're praying,
one of the reasons why I would always emphasize talk during your courtship is that it avoids all these issues of things are not popping up and you're surprised.
Hello and welcome back to Common Sense for Relationships. It's a pleasure to have you with us on the show today. My name is Anietie Bature, and with me in the studio is my husband, Kingsley Bature.
Yes, it's good to be here, especially in this Independence Week. Actually, I looked for something that is green in my whole wardrobe, and I'm calling out my designer overall. I know you watch this show, so I'm calling you out. My whole wardrobe, this is the nearest to green. I have to be a patriotic Nigerian at some point in my life, even if it's once or twice a year. So, happy independence, everyone. Yeah, so overall, do something about it.
Okay.
Perform.
All right. And with us in the studio today, we have Uche and his lovely wife. I'll allow Uche to do his introduction and then introduce his wife, because this is her first time on CSFR. I'm really excited about that.
And I'll be smiling brother. My smile will be brother. My voice will be different. You know, all along
You'll
it
be
had
sounding
been
more responsible.
It had been Mama A talking about her darling, wonderful husband. So today, I'm with my beautiful wife, and I think there will be a difference actually. So my name, like you already know, is Uche Chukwuemmanuel Ihonye, and with me here is my sweetheart, the love of my life, Anietie Ihonye. Welcome to the show, baby.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so
Anita, it's nice to have you on the show. Just say some few words, or just say something. Just say hello to the viewers, or tell them to share because you are here. You know, all your fans. let them
like,
share,
subscribe, and all of that.
Okay.
Yes.
It's really a pleasure to be here. This is my first time I've been on a podcast, and I used to see on Instagram people are like, stop buying podcasting equipment. Like, people should stop doing podcasts. And I'm like, I've not been on one yet. But it's really a pleasure to be here. I'm very happy to be here. I hope to learn too, as much as share. So also please like, subscribe, follow, call your friends, share, and let us all learn together.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Fantastic. You're welcome. It's a pleasure to have you with us. And to everyone who has joined us online. Oh my goodness, we're so happy to have you join us for the show. You know, if we're sitting here and speaking and then there's no one on the other side, it would be kind of a waste, right? But this makes the whole show have purpose, have meaning, have like, you know, give and then it gives us that sense of fulfillment when we know that, hey, we're not alone. We have you with us week in, week out. So thank you for joining us always.
Thank
and
you.
please let us know where you're joining us from. So just put it in the chat box or in the comment section. Let's see where you're joining us from. And if you're joining us for the first time,
put hashtag first time,
so we can give you a warm CSFR welcome. Okay, so our topic for this week is quite interesting. We call it the couples playbook. You know,
and interestingly, like we began to talk about it last month. For this month, we are doing focus on the family, and because we are focusing on the family, we are going to be talking about things that has to do with the family, bringing in cultural context, bringing in modernization, bringing in a lot of things that help both the singles know how to know what they are walking into, and the married to know also how to navigate what they are already in inside and what they're already dealing with. So we'll be talking about this, and so it's like she said, invite everybody. Everybody is covered. So for the couples playbook, this is like episode 1 of the series. Right, and that's why we decided to bring in a younger couple and let us gist. In fact, one of the places to start was a question someone posed to us before the show, and the question is for better, for worse, still the same today as it used to be? What do you think? As in, is marriage still for better, for worse, or is it now for better, or for better, for best? Do you understand?
Well, for me, I think it's about context, right? So, what will you face in your life and in your relationship and in your marriage? You want to speak positively about that. You want to confess only good. You want to speak life, right? So, if you are if you're following that context, then yes, you may want to say for better, for better, for better, for best, and so on, right? You say other things in line with that, and there's room for that, right? But at the point where you are exchanging vows, you can choose that that's the time for you to do that. But you can also choose that. Wait, now you can also choose.
I have a problem already. Okay.
Wait, you can also choose that you want to be more realistic. And I guess the people who wrote this may have looked at life in general and seen how things generally play out in their times and their seasons. And I mean, really, it's never. I've not seen.
Babi, let's call a spade a spade, not an agricultural implement. Wait, I'm coming. Wait, see, let's be real. Let's be real here. Me and you know, we have been in this thing for 17. Yes. I am 17, going on 18. Sound of music. Yes. You don't say. We have the reality of life is that it is never as you say it is. So your declaration and your proclamation does not change the seasons of life. No matter how you declare it, you will get older. Do you understand?
Yes.
No matter how you speak positively about it, you will age. And you know, I even had a real life experience where I was going to join a couple. I was officiating a wedding, and we were reading the marital vows, and we got to the part where it says for better, for worse, and the lady said for better, for better. I said, I'm going to stop this marriage here and I'm going to walk off the altar, because if you need to focus on what the terms say. It says, through all, when you are making your vows, the marital vows, that's from the very beginning, through all the seasons of life, So it talks about the seasons of life. And in the seasons of life, there will come times when it is good. There will come times when it is not good. It's like a cycle. Do you understand? So let's be realistic. If you are going to marry, you cannot marry for better, for better. It means that you are only around when the things are good, when the going gets good. So it's not a declaration of faith at all. It's a declaration of life.
Of commitment.
Of commitment. So
Yes.
if it is,
So
if
that's
it is,
the context we're talking about.
Yes. So all of this, all of that, I don't know where they are getting it from, and that's why I said it's like it's different. I don't know what you guys think, because I think these days people just keep shifting the goalpost on what love really is about.
I think that's really correct because, especially in our time now, and I know, as you know, she said that context for better, but I think it's also the part where people no longer want to put energy into anything. They are just enjoying the butterflies in their tummy.
Baby girl
so
for
them
life.
saying for better is actually for better. Like you can't stress.
Like
me.
they're
Yes.
saying what they actually mean.
And what they want. They don't want to be in a point where they are struggling to eat more than twice a day, or where they have to be the ones for the females, they want to fend for the family. No. But you met me very comfortable. Don't bring me to come and suffer with you. All those suffering, let's grow together, let's grow old together, let's struggle. It's not really, it's not really what is happening now again at times. So when they say for better, they really mean for better. Like, don't attempt to bring worse
Inside
this our union. There should not be a worse. There just has to be like a better and better. And unfortunately, marriages, at least in our time, when I say in our time, sometimes I feel, yes, in our time.
Yes, now
Yes.
You guys have been married for how long?
4
4 years.
to 5.
So you guys are very
So exactly,
young.
like
So it's
we're
your
under
time.
5.
You're
So
under
in
5.
our time now,
Your marriage is still a toddler. It's
it is.
Well, yeah.
So I think in our time now, you have a lot of marriages that just seem to just break at
Yeah.
just a bit of a struggle, because the mindset in which they entered in is that I need to be pampered. I cannot. My parents went through a lot.
I
should
don't
not
want to go through a lot.
I'm more enlightened because, for example, there was this video that was going around of a woman that said her husband traveled, husband cheated on someone, came back, married, and people are like, how could you have stayed through this one, that one? So there is this theory going on now that our parents stayed in marriages, they wanted to manage, as they stayed because of children.
And because they were ignorant, they probably didn't know any
but now
better.
that we are more enlightened, we can do better. But as you said, the principles are still the same. Maybe we are more enlightened on being intentional, but the principles are still the same. You are committed to your spouse in good seasons and bad seasons. It's like day and night. It's not always day.
It's not always
there will
day.
always be night. So that's where I'm coming from.
I hear you loud. And for me, it's very clear, because, like you said, our parents, they married young and they stayed. But then we come, and suddenly, because we are a modern generation, it appears as if we know so much. So we know more than them, and because of that, we cannot endure. So I doubt people come into marriage with the term endurance as part of their vocabulary.
And in all fairness to both parties, there were things that parents got wrong.
Yeah, agreed.
There were things some of them had to endure that I don't think any human being needs to endure.
Agreed.
It doesn't mean you're not committed, but you are choosing yourself. You're choosing to stay alive for both the children that our parents stayed in the marriage for. So our parents were willing to die in the marriage for the sake of the children. But there are things that will come up in our modern marriage. The mom or the dad, whoever is at the losing end or the collecting end, should leave the marriage in order to stay alive for the children.
So that talks about balance then.
A balance, yes. So I don't think, no doubt, like she said, a lot of couples, they will work out at the slightest inconvenience.
Yeah.
That's my problem.
And that is a problem. But in trying to balance it, or rather in trying to speak against that, we must also make them understand that we are not saying, for example, that if that man slaps you today, you should remain in the marriage. I've always said it. Physical abuse, emotional abuse, they are no for me. Whether it's from the woman to the guy or from the guy to the woman. You just at least give space. It also leaves room for the person to reevaluate,
to reflect
their need for you in their lives. Because I know that back in those days, if for any reason a woman goes back home and it is the man's fault, you're made to go through the process of paying some things,
follow the culture
to be able to come back. So when you go through that to get someone back, then we are sure that it probably was a mistake that you actually did what you did. But
yeah, I think it's clear anyway that whatever you say, whatever you do, life happens, right? And even if you are hoping for the best and praying for the best, God has told us that we will have tribulation in this life, right?
in this
So
life.
and you know the interesting thing is that tribulation isn't always going to mean everything is going to be terrible or the outcome in the end will be bad, because we know that even our light afflictions will work out some kind of glory. So there's good that comes out of it, right? But people need to realize that you should be ready to deal with whatever comes your way. And sometimes what comes your way, even God will send some trouble your way for you to develop some muscle, for you to grow, for you to mature.
God bless you. This is you see this, and this what for you to grow and mature. You see this part? That's the part that I feel like this generation don't want to see. Now there's something, especially because especially when I speak to singles and people that they say they want to get married, but when you engage them in conversation, you are thinking to yourself, if not so this one won't marry, we are going to be hearing a lot of things. So do you understand? Because this part where there is an end that is in the mind of God, or in fact, let me even put it this way: there is character development that marriage is supposed to bring out of you to make you a better person. Do you understand? So I know some people will say, no, I don't need marriage for to make me anything. Hey, the institution was designed with a concept in mind, and if you are going to pass through the institution is also going to pass through you to make something out of you, and that's how institutions are. So the marriage is an institution. So if you're going to go through the marriage, things are going to be worked on in you. So if you're coming to the marriage and you already have, this is your laid down procedure, nothing about this must change, then you have to question whether you really want to be in that institution.
And for the singles, it's important we state that I stand to be corrected, but I don't think anything exposes you to you and to the other person like marriage does.
I agree with you.
You really don't know yourself and what you are capable, because sometimes you think you're patient until you get into that marriage. Sometimes you think you're kind until you get into the marriage. Sometimes you think you compromise until you get into the marriage, and you realize that all these things they are not. You never knew yourself. So that's why you must give room for adjustment. You must give room for the ups and downs, because like you rightfully said, those ups and downs are not necessarily things that are meant to break you. They are meant to expose the flaws in you and meant to gives room for you to become a better you, which is the whole essence of living anyway.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. So, thank you. I think we have thoroughly flogged that subject. Now we will go into the next segment, and I think this is really going to be interesting. So here we're going to do a deep dive into the 3 pillars of modern love, and we'll start with power and partnership. So question 1, who pays and who leads? So let's start from there.
The way when we got married, leadership was the head, and the only person wearing the cap. Where does the cap fit? It's on the head now. Who does the cap fit? So that means leadership was from the head when we got married.
But that's what they told you, but that's not what happened.
And that's why I said when we got married.
So
do you understand?
So maybe for some others it may have been. I mean, that was the expectation, but it wasn't the practice in our marriage. And probably because we were friends before we got married. So I mean, you cannot go from, that thing that some people do after the wedding, they'll clear their throat. I am the head of this family. Yes. And they want to transform, like from where to where. So no, we didn't do that. So the same way we were going about our friendship, by the time we got married, the same thing transpired. So he didn't like wake up and say, on this subject, my word is final.
As the head of the family.
And well, maybe that's also because his dad was a superior argument person. So we would always bring the different aspects, perspectives, and so on into the discussion, right? And then see what's the best way forward. And sometimes it would be one person's view and we all agree, yes, that's the best thing to do. Or the other person's view. Some other times it was, hey, this is good from yours. This is good from mine. Let's put it together and we have a new solution that works well for us. So it's always what works best. So that at the end of the day, we're leveraging the best option that will give us the best value rather than you win this time and I win next time. So that's just been our way. And then for who pays for us, we have a central pot. So this pot is imaginary. And what happens is that this pot, whatever you have, whatever I have, everything goes into that pot. And then we also have a basket that has all the needs, right? And then we would see what are the needs and what's in the pot, okay? So we take care of the needs. We have to make sure that we adjust our plans so that every need is met.
Based on what is in the pot.
Based on what is in the pot. And then wants can be postponed, right? Wants can be suspended until. But we make sure that the needs are met. And of course, you have to adjust your desires, ambitions accordingly. And we try as much as possible not to have to go anywhere else to get the funding. So no, please borrow me money till the end of the month from here and there, and going around turning yourself to a beggar.
That was just our personal principle.
I think I saw a video, was it yesterday, and the guy was asked, somebody sent him a direct message on Instagram and was like, what do you do as a woman if you realize that you're better at leading and your husband seems to be better at following? And now the problem, it answers the very first question on who leads and all of that. While it may, at the face level, you might look at it as, oh, okay, then if both of you have realized she's a better leader, then why not go? But that negates the entire idea of marriage. Because what happens is, let's say we are in a work environment and I am the manager. You're answerable to me and she's answerable to me. Maybe she's the secretary. I am the CEO. Okay, let me turn it to CEO. Okay, manager
is fine.
No matter how creative your ideas are, no matter how good you are with, how smart you are with thinking up ideas, I still remain the head.
Yeah.
What happens is that whatever you're bringing, you pass it by me. And of course, as a reasonable manager who also knows, because leadership doesn't mean you're the best.
Yes.
The ability to actually harness the best in everybody.
I like the word reasonable you use.
Yes.
But go on.
Is what makes you, or is what helps the entire company to move forward. So if anybody has that question in terms of who leads and all of that, your husband remains the head. Whatever superior idea you have, you run it by him. And through prayers and everything, I believe you, both of you. But generally, outside of the leadership, who finances this, who does this and all of that, I think what works for us or how we run our home is actually similar to yours. We don't have her money, my money. And according to the seasons of time, I'm sure I can go all in on this because for some people, they might have a lot of questions. According to the different seasons or from experience of the different seasons we've been in, there are times when I've earned way higher than her. And there are times when she has earned way higher than I do. There are times when we are at par with each other. And during all this whole season, we never shifted the goalpost of our money is our money. It has always been one central post. And like you said, whatever budget we need to draw for the month, we don't look at it as, how much are you willing to bring? So when people talk about 50-50, I don't think it's reasonable. It should be 100-100. Because there are times, like I said, there are times my 70% might be more than her 100%. There are times when her 70% might be more than mine. So literally, it's about realizing your strengths. And what do I mean by that? Have that central post. What works for you? But for us, we have that central post. She's in charge of the central post. And that's why sometimes people might call me, oh, Uche, I need 10K. And I'll tell you I don't have. However, if you're that close and I think the need is genuine, I'll tell you, okay, let me speak with my wife. I'll get back to you, because truly I need to run it by her. She also helps me to make sure that she also helps me to look at the need and make sure it's actually a genuine need for the person. And then we're able to disburse. And one other thing this style helps us to avoid is someone can easily, if we are not at par, someone can easily come to her, oh, babe, I need 5K. And come to me, Mr. Uche, can I get 10K from you?
And
because we are not 15K from the family.
Exactly. And because we are not talking about these things, people will end up using both of us and that. So I don't think the issue of who pays for what in 2025, I don't think it's unless that is what works for you.
I want to just add something to what you said. No respect to the man being the head. You know, it's I at least to the extent of how God had ordained it to be, the man should be the head. I think what's also very important is that while you are still single, build yourself to really be the head of the home, so that you don't meet yourself situation where your wife is so equipped to either provide best decision, but because you're, for the lack of a better word, incompetent. That's the lack of that. Because of incompetent to actually lead, you know, and then everyone can see that your wife seems to be the better leader or seems to be the one that makes better decisions, and it goes for both ways. So when I say that single, I'm like, maximize your singlehood. You know, build yourself, your character development. If you need the Holy Spirit to prune you, to kill those things that are in your flesh, so that when you're entering your home, you're bringing your value as a husband, being the head, as the wife, you're supporting. So nobody is feeling oppressed that it seems my wife, it seems, you know, this is my, but no, I'm the head. So
there's a perspective that I want to bring in, okay, which is also the fact that, and that's why a lot of times I don't like the labeling and the narratives, especially when you come to the head or the leader, right? Definitely. My father used to say something. He said, if we have to ask who the head of the home, of our home is, then there's a problem. Do you understand?
Yes,
it means
sir.
that if we have to ask, if somebody enter, we have to ask, then there's a problem. It means that I have lost my place. So but the perspective I'm trying to bring is the fact that there is a sense in which, even as the head of the home, and that's why I like the word you used when you said reasonable manager. Even as the head of the home, you are very clear about what your strength is and what your weakness is. Now, if you are the head and you are clear about your strength, you know the things that you can easily delegate without looking small. As a head.
True.
You can delegate without. So, for example, and that's why I said the leading. For example, when we got married, my wife was a better financial manager. Let's not lie. She was better with finances. She was better with budgeting. Me, I am everybody's guy. I was a yes man. So, and if you anything you want, you ask me, if I have it, I will give you. Do you understand? So our resources will just be going. You have to need and I have money. No, now take. Do you understand? Do you understand? But I was a yes man. I was terrible with managing finances. She was the one that does the budget. But for us to get sense, she has to manage the finances. So, and that's when we came up with the strategy that we work. But over time, you want to try me with budgeting? do you understand? But see, so that's where the balance comes. The equipping that you speak about, even and that's what marriage does. You know, PT used to say that marriage is God's crucible for raising sons. So it's like that. It's like that melting pot that once you come in, it actually molds you into a better version of yourself.
So there's another thing I took from what she said. I don't know. While she was saying it occurred to me. So if as a man, you've realized that your wife is actually, because in reality, these things happen, where the woman is better equipped to lead. She has superior outlook on life and all of that. nothing stops you from actually letting her lead. Because when I say letting her lead now, this is what I mean. You realize that whatever decision you guys make should be for the good of the entire family.
Yeah.
So when she brings it, don't discard it based on I am the man. What I would expect is that you guys will implement it, but to the external world, to even your children, this idea came from daddy and mommy. From the world, this idea came from Mr. and Mrs.
Exactly.
And the onus will now lie on the woman who has realized that she has superior competencies or intellect and all of that, or even the exposure. The onus is on you to make sure that you don't, while using it or while bringing or implementing these things, you don't put it in his face. You don't make him look small. There's a way to submit it, to bring, oh, honey, don't you think if we do this or this? There's a way to even put it, and even to him, it looks like he's the one coming up with the idea. Because it's important to make a man feel like a man. No matter how small a man is or how low in intellect he is, he would never your home cannot run smooth when he doesn't feel good about.
And for me, I would even say the woman that feels like she's a better leader, if you are going to put the man down or make him feel small, why did you say yes to him if you don't feel he can lead
you? Because it also speaks to your own sense of judgment.
That's where I'm coming from. It speaks to your sense of
how did you end up with such a man?
How did you end up with such a man if you don't feel he could lead you? So
it means that
you need to do what? You need to give him the place that is his.
Rightfully his.
So bottom line, it should feel to everyone else as a joint decision on people's part. So
it's just inside two of you.
We decided this is what we think, this is our, so that way it doesn't even come, the people outside don't have to say, oh, the wife is a better decision maker than the other. No, they said we.
If people outside know you people are not doing something right.
Yeah, so even in the discussion, collaboration, not I said, you said, it was my idea that finally, we discuss back and forth, we arrive. It doesn't even have to come up who was leading. You get. Now, what do you guys think about this whole thing of family versus career pressure? I mean, there was one that I saw today, and at the beginning of the conversation, I was like, because the guy talked about how he met his wife on set, movie set, but by the time he married her, he told her that there was a way he wanted his family to run. And that he needed her to stay home and take care of his children. As in, the way the guy was talking about it, I could just see selfishness all over it. But then by the time you listen, then he starts to try to say, yes, it was a sacrifice on her part. I wouldn't have done that, and so on and so forth. But some people were like, this guy ended his wife's career to advance his, and so on and so forth. Anyway, you can swing that discussion on that argument anyhow, but really, what do you guys think about this whole thing of career versus family pressure on the side of the woman, the side of the man, kids coming in and so on?
I was talking to, I don't know if it's my husband or someone, and I was saying, or my mom was saying that using Lagos, for a woman to be working in Lagos with children, in itself, is actually a career in itself. That she cannot, because she did it. So whenever she's looking at me, she's like, Kai. And I was telling my husband today, like, truly, whatever God does is good. And there's the wisdom of God. But, we have come to try to not manipulate it, but want to make it to fit our humanness or our human constructs. Because it is impossible to have both parents that are career-oriented. Both of you are pursuing your career. And to have kids, and there will not be a gap. It is almost impossible that two of you go out every morning, come back, go out, pursuing career. Because motherhood or fatherhood in itself is a full-time job. Then to be going out, coming in, as in, you miss out on a lot of things. You miss out on a lot of things. So nowadays, I give kudos to stay-at-home period, like stay-at-home moms or that. I'm like, you are actually doing good work. But in the event where we are now, where you have both parents that are working, And I think that first of all, before you people have gotten married, you should have, like my husband, for me, from the first time he met me, he knew that I was career minded. If I when he met me, I was telling him I want to go and do PhD. I said, yes, why not? I said, I just my master, I want to do PhD. He said, oh, beautiful. And I was thinking to myself, how would you feel? Their wife is a doctor, and he doesn't like it. He doesn't. He said he's done with school. After years, he's not doing anything. I'm like, how would you? Then I was like, how would you feel?
I see now. However, I developed myself. I have certifications here and there, and
but
all the short
I was
courses.
feeling like, how would
But
you
master,
feel?
what am I mastering
That
on top?
I'm a doctorate in law, and then you are just carrying your BS. Would you feel somehow? And in fact, I even had, and it was like, no. And I think those are the first. That was one of the first things that attracted me to him. That he was very confident in himself.
Yes.
He didn't feel intimidated by me in any way. In fact, he loved the fact that I was, pushing on and everything. So I think it's important that from day one, you know who you're getting married to. Yes. She's career-oriented. I'm career. It's fine. From there, people can begin to paint a picture of how your home will look like. Are you going to allow support from family, from in-laws? And do you want to have nannies, living nannies? Or do you want to have living nannies? Do you want to, you have planned your home already from those kind of conversations, so that when you're in marriage, and I say, God forbid, I don't want to have anybody staying in my house, then how do you want the children to, if you will not be at home? Because I know of people that will say, God forbid, I will not have any nanny. What is your function? You clean the house. I don't want one night to come and snatch me from you. Some very shallow conversations. But from the day one, when you have agreed on, we are both career oriented, so this is how our home will be. We'll put them in school very early, just so it helps, so nobody feels that I have to lay back for the other person. I mean, it could get to a point where you may have to take a pause, but let's not be it was forced on you. Let's be that people had agreed and you came so that you don't carry spite against your partner, because every time you're looking at him, be like, it's because of you. Because of you. I know I had a boss. Then my boss told me, I was trying to take up a job, and then he said, we just got married, and I know that this job may seem comfortable. He said, at this time of your life, what should always be your priority is your family. Let your family kind of inform your decisions in your career. Look at it. So when it helps you to make the right decisions as a wife and as a mother, not as a single. As a wife and as a mother. You think about your family, it helps you. You're not throwing your career away, but you just have to say, okay, I will take this opportunity. I can take this one later. I can probably find a way. It just helps you to put the right pieces in the right place. You're not under any form of pressure.
So in addition to that, just like she said, we talked, and I had said it on this set many, many times. One of the reasons why I would always emphasize talk during your courtship is that it avoids all these issues of things are not popping up and you're surprised. Because it came to a point where before marriage, we talked about what happens if she's, let's say, earning 3 million and I'm earning 1 million. No, let's not take it too far. And I'm earning 1 million and her job requires her to move to a new place. What do we do? Because one of our marriage agreements is we cannot stay apart. We never stay apart where daddy is working somewhere and comes in only once in a month and all, or mommy. So what we agreed, and that stands to you, maybe Jesus gives us another method, is that we agreed whoever is earning more, wherever your job takes you to, the other person would have to follow. And what it simply implies is that one of the things you must look out for if you have that mindset is you must develop yourself such that you're confident that even if I'm moving to London with my wife, I will definitely get something because of my competencies. You understand? So there shouldn't be, where you've agreed on this, that, it shouldn't be much of a hassle.
Yeah.
And where you have, some of my colleagues will say, you people are blessed, because at every point in time, it's as if one of our moms would always be around. Don't allow anybody, because at a point, we almost, mommy should come and go. That was our decision. Okay, let's leave her to go and do her life and all of that. But when we sat down to look at the reason behind it, it's because people are thinking, maybe, why are your parents always in the house with you? And we didn't, one day I now told that, babe, this thing works for us.
Yeah.
Why are we going to, there's no hard and fast route to this thing.
Yeah.
If one has to, and their support is helping us, she's able to, we're even able to travel together outside of the country, knowing that there's support at home. So,
and the reason your mommies can be support is because they are not devil in-laws.
oh yes. As funny as it sounds, it's true. They are not scattering.
Yeah, and you know, the important thing is learning to live in peace with everyone. I know that there are those people that make life really difficult, and even if you wanted to live in peace, the solution to having peace will now be to send them out, right? But in the event that you have people that you can live in peace with, then as much as possible, leverage that support system. So support systems are really important. If I want to speak for myself and my career, support systems, my goodness, my mom coming around, my mom-in-law coming around, my sister living nearby at the time when the kids were small, just having a place where you could just go and, in quote, dump your children and forget them for a weekend or something, really important to have those people. And of course, God blessed us with wonderful support staff, domestic staff, people who came to help us with the children and all of that. You know, there are scriptures in the Bible that you can actually use to pray when you're asking for support. Number of them. Number one, the story of Naaman, the girl that referred them to the prophet in Israel so that Naaman could be healed of his leprosy. The second one, Abraham trusting his servant to the point of asking him to go and find a wife for his son. So the future of Israel, that whole promise of God depended on that servant for a period. What kind of servant was that? So when you're praying, well, this was me. I didn't just say, oh, I need a nanny. Just go and scout and find. I always prayed about, God, send me this kind of help. And yes, the Lord has been faithful. So all the people that passed through here, they were wonderful. They helped. They were not perfect. They had their issues, but we learned to live in peace with everybody.
And that place I have to come in because even when you pray for support, they are human beings. So don't get it twisted. They are human beings. A number of them, we actually had to do some level of reschooling in order for them to adapt to our system, because people come with different mindsets, different configurations. So when they come into your space, don't just expect that they
come and plug and play.
They will just come and
they
plug
just
and
make
play.
one small mistake
And
and
then
say, get out.
Do you understand?
No, there's room for patience, teaching.
You have to understand,
grooming,
people are wired differently.
And some of them, their backgrounds too, they didn't have the level of experience and exposure you have. They didn't have it. So you're literally having to reschool them to say, okay, this is how my house
works.
This is how I think you should behave. And it helps you to be patient with them.
You have to be, and those are part of the things that people need to be, because I've my line of work, I get to hear a number. Some people are very nasty to nannies, and it is wrong. I mean, nasty to nannies, nasty to gate men, nasty to drivers, and it is wrong. I mean, everybody
and
deserves
taking
respect.
care of your children,
I'm
especially at the stage where this child cannot even speak. So what makes you think that when you leave, they will not take out all the anger on this little helpless child that cannot say, "Mommy, this is what happened when you went to the office." So
I think we can pack it there, because if we enter there, we'll just enter somewhere where they touch me. So this I'm going from there to go to this place where I don't know how they are doing it these days.
what's that?
Digital love. How do we keep the romance in the presence of TikTok, Facebook? Okay, they don't call it Facebook.
Maybe you get
what they call it?
Facebook.
Oh,
Instagram scrolling, and how do people quarrel these days in marriage? Sorry guys, quarrel is a very big part of marriage. I don't know, singles people can. It's a big part of marriage. As in, it's not. You can disagree to agree. In fact, my father used to say that the problem is that there's no problem. So when they tell you as a man, you say, so what's going on? You can see something has changed, and you're asking what's going on. They say there's no problem, and then you now decide that there's just you now carry your stuff and go out, and they say, how's your wife? She said there's no problem. I'm sorry for you. We will solve it digitally.
At least I would say that part of the quarrel starts with people going to these digital platforms and to see something, and then they'll come back and start
TikTok
comparing.
University.
And start comparing.
I'm not calling names.
It's
TikTok University. I'm looking upwards onto the upward way. Looking at any direction.
It's so easy to see something online and then come back or just in fact, even before you come back, you start saying, I wish my husband could. Or why doesn't my husband, because you've seen it online, and it's easy to bring it home.
Husband's lives matter.
You're very fortunate that I am such a wonderful wife that
true.
I don't do that to you.
It's
But
true.
I mean, just imagine all those, it was my birthday. The funny part, that some of these people, the woman bought the car by herself. She will now put one big bow and then announce to the world that her husband that bought it. Then the other women who have bought cars jointly or by themselves and were happy will now sit and start saying, hey, my husband has never bought me a car. Where will my husband? Then maybe she'll come back home and say, your mates are.
But this thing you're saying, like,
do you understand?
it's so true. I think people should really. Sometimes it's good to be honest with yourself. I don't like. I went to my husband one time, and it's important to communicate in your marriage. It's really important to talk. Nothing should be too hard for you to talk about, because I know one time I went on Instagram one day. Then it was the wife's birthday, and my birthday was just the week before. My birthday just happened the week before, and obviously he knows, and I'm like, no, we are fine. So. First of all, they sang for the woman. Then they give. I was just looking at Instagram. I said, hi, it's not bad if my husband did this thing for you. It's not really, it took me so bad.
Exactly.
And it was in my heart. And I was thinking, and I realized that my emotion, I started feeling a bit sad. Then when I said, so I told me, do you know what happened? Do you know that I saw something on Instagram and it made me feel this way? But then he was like, it's okay for you to feel that way, But having that conversation, it's just
liberating.
Because I felt better and was like, don't worry that I deserve it, But and ended like that. So imagine people that see that or harbor it in their hearts. As the man is passing, don't look at the man like this. This very incompetent human being. See your mate on Instagram. But
and the man can never know what
you can never know.
All those things KJ used to. How will KJ know that you've gone to Instagram to watch something
and KJ is not even said, but straight bullet, you just listen every
that's what he was saying actually, because it's nothing,
so
and he wants us to figure it out.
For us to really be at this social media, be very. You need to guard your heart.
Yeah.
It's a very strong influence.
Yeah.
It's very strong.
Yeah.
So
fake
you need to be honest. Immediately that thought drops in your heart. Know who you marry. Just quickly meet him. You push your laugh over it, or you can tell him truly, you self try and get me something now. But don't let it.
You know what? Then sometimes when I feel like this husband of mine is not even romantic these days, I now go and ask maybe AI or something or Google is how to be romantic. Then I'll send him the message, or maybe when he comes to pick me, I'll say, hey honey, do you know what? I was analyzing the extent of your romance. I say, number one, well, you tried. Number two, do you understand? It's all part of it all.
Yes.
But yeah.
I do that
the
same
recent
thing.
one that I did, he actually passed the test. So I'm like, you've actually tried. So
But you see, the interesting thing is it's the question of romance, right? What exactly is romance?
I said,
today?
buy me flowers. He said, which African woman likes flowers? I said,
So
give
you
me
see,
a money bouquet.
you see why we would always say,
give me bouquet
do
of
what
money.
works for you. My wife and I had the discussion of flower just yesterday, and she was like, don't you dare. Because it doesn't make sense to me.
I don't even know what to do with the flowers. I don't know how to appreciate it for the flowers.
Exactly. So once upon a time, I was like that. Then all of a sudden, just as you're getting older, all of a sudden I'm like, it it would actually be cool to have a bouquet, like a big one.
Sent to you.
Then he was like, it doesn't make sense for us. Africa. I said, at least let's be a bouquet of money.
Uh-huh.
So I'll just pick one today and pick another one.
And I'm saying,
Which
but-
makes better sense to me than
Yes.
bouquet of flowers.
no, but me, I was
So
saying,
maybe you
but-
get
but-
a bouquet of money.
How touching. But me, I say, but we are doing cashless now. Why would I give you bouquet of money?
Just for the
Just to have it.
Just for the optics
Just
for
for the
her.
fun of it.
Yeah.
So what she was saying that she would send this thing, guys. It's not always, let it not look like it's always men who are deficient in this romance.
exactly,
Yes.
exactly.
I've had to in the last maybe 2 weeks or so, or even 1 month, and now I will ask her, did you see what I sent you on Instagram? Because you will see something that is, they are not necessarily things that money can buy or something, but just gestures that you desire. And I'll send it to her, and she'll tell me, I'll not be surprised that she said, yes, I saw it. So why have you not done anything like that? Don't I deserve this romance too? Why are you not speaking my love language?
But it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. So go back
Yeah.
because you still have not done
It's
them.
true. I
There,
think-
there are two of them that it's really, really important.
Are you
to me.
keeping notes?
Both partners, I know most times, women, we are the ones that want to enjoy the romance. We feel like we are entitled. And I mean, truly we are. But I think also the men to, and I've realized, I think
Men's
that's-
life matters.
That thought,
Men-
it's my mind taught me that men to have emotions. The
Yes.
same way you want to be loved and pampered and doted upon, your husband too wants to be loved, pampered. He may not say it, but he wants to experience it. So, as you want to receive that, be ready to also give
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
yes.
like some of us have learned to not just, you say he may not say it. Some of us we say it, like I will say, so the thing that gives me peace of mind is an all expense paid trip, business class for 7 days. I mean, it gives me a lot
And you're
of peace.
entitled to it.
Yes, it gives me a lot of peace. Do you
Okay,
understand?
all
Just in
right.
case she's not here, because this one that she wants to wrap up the show.
I'm
When
wrapping up.
entered
So
this
I have
place-
an interesting question
Okay.
that I want to ask. So, if you want to use Nigerian food to describe our marriage, which dish would you use?
What has this got to do with
And
my
why?
emotions?
Wait,
now?
okay,
What
and
has
why?
this got
Okay,
to do with
wait.
my
Now let's
emotions?
leave you for now. Let's start with Uche.
Okay, ladies first.
That
What
guy.
dish should I use?
Yes.
Nigerian dish.
Nigerian dish. I think I'm going to use fisherman soup.
Why?
Why fisherman soup, you may ask? Fisherman soup has a lot of seafood inside. There's crab, there's, and as you see the soup, you know it is fisherman soup. You know it is seafood. Nothing will surprise you under. You will not
see the food.
Yes,
as in
you see the fish.
see
You will not see those are people from that's not fisherman soup. You will see fish. You will see the soup.
No surprises.
You see crab. You see
I
everything.
think that's what my marriage is. I think what you see outside is what happens inside. I'm not trying to show off, and that's what really blesses me about my husband is that who he is outside is who he is inside to me, and I am learning to not to always try to paint up. Oh, we are so lovey-dovey, romantic outside, and then inside we are barely romantic. I want like as much as everybody sees us as this lovely, intimate, wonderful couple. At home, when it's just two of us, let us
That's also
experience
how it
that
is.
level of intimacy, love. I know that this is who we are, both outside. I'm not trying to show off. So that's why I said fisherman.
All right.
So one person from this side before you come back to us.
Okay, I'll go first.
Okay.
So I think I'll use Ekpan Kukwo.
That was the what I had in my mind. I'm serious. That's what I had in my mind.
Because I remember back then when he, as a supportive husband, allowed me to go and work in Akwa Ibom. Anytime he came to visit, we always had Ekpan Kukwo waiting for him. So I can use Ekpan. Yes, so you see the thing about Ekpan Kukwo is that it takes a lot of effort to prepare, right? Getting all the ingredients ready and all of that. And you will find things like periwinkle in there, which, yes, it's soft, but then there are those hard components here and there, which just, for me, is an expression of every now and then you have some hard nuts to crack, right, in the relationship. But the whole meal together is spicy, has flavor, is comforting, feels
There's
like
pomo
home.
inside. There's
You are
know,
there that one. It's your
there's-
version of Ekpan
Yes,
Kuko.
there's pomo, there's okporoko somewhere inside.
Yes.
Do you understand? There's cocoyam. There's, honestly, that was the food I had in mind, ekpan koko, because I know it takes time to prepare.
Yeah.
Do you understand? It takes effort to prepare. So, and when you see, when they
A
say
good marriage takes effort.
when you see good marriage, it takes
Effort.
effort. Do you understand? So
Yeah.
when you see that meal with all the
Yeah.
assortment and it looks pleasing to the eye, a lot went through. See, we have been through a lot, and a lot has been through us. Do you understand? You understand? So, and so you are spot on. I actually don't have another. It was just ekpan kuko because of the different variety, different components, and the different effort it takes.
So funny enough, Ekpan Kupo came to my mind.
Interesting. All right.
No, for real. But I was like, would they know it? Since we are saying African dish, it's African dish quite alright, but will they know it? And so I just like, okay, maybe we'll do another soup, which I still don't know if they'll know. But there's a soup called ofowere. And if you're conversant with some of these high life Igbo musicians, Sawario, they say if you don't have money, you cannot eat ofowere, and it's a ceremonial food. And why would I describe the our marriage that way? It's an uncommon marriage, I would say, because what is common, at least what social media shows us and what you see many people around you, is this waka pass marriages and all these things. About for ofowere, it's not something you see. It's because it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of commitment because I mean you have other things you can do with. So for us, our marriage is something that we carefully prepared for it, and we've put in efforts, we've put in resources, we've put in sleepless nights where it required it. Both parties actually, and so that's why I would say that. And of course, even for a first time, when you see ofowere, deep down you know that something has gone into this. This is not an ordinary meal.
Something has gone into
Wonderful. All right. Okay, so I think I think those are really interesting food choices to use to describe marriages, and I hope you can see that really marriage is not by chance. If you want to have a good marriage, a happy marriage, a marriage that makes you feel like, yes, I made the right choice, then it will require some effort, some work, some preparation, communication, collaboration, so many things. And it's how you prepare it that you eat it. If you do anyhow, you see anyhow.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. So
That's actually marriage.
That's
all right. So that's marriage for you. So it's been quite an interesting show today. But before we go away, we would like to give you a teaser of what next week will be about.
next week we are we're still continuing on the couples playbook, but next week we are talking about uncles, aunties, and opinions. How extended
Family
members.
How extended family influences your marital destiny.
Interesting. I think that will be a lot of fun. Just like this week has been fun with the Ihionyes. Thank you so much for being with us on the show today.
And if I have a parting word, right, it's not anything serious. It's something very light. It would be that marriage works if you work it. If you work it, it works. But if you are not ready to work, what you see is what you will get.
If you work it with patience, if you work it with understanding, if you work it with consideration, if you work it with kindness, if you work it with following the path of peace,
if you work
and so on and so forth.
If you work it following principles, because it's an institution.
I was going to say that because marriage, just like your career, you need to be informed. You need to acquire knowledge.
Yes.
You need to acquire wisdom. So go for conferences, read a lot of books on marriages and relationships, listen to conferences, just acquire as much knowledge as you can and treat it like what it is.
Watch common sense for relationship. Do you understand? This channel, we have over 200 videos on relationships, both for singles and married. And it's free. But if you don't like free stuff, please, on this channel too, just DM or get my link. I can give you one-on-one paid counseling to set your life in order if you don't like free stuff. But free stuff on this channel, plenty.
All right. And all right. So I think we have had such a great time today. Not just I think. We have had such a great time today. And thank you for being with us on the show. But before we go, I would like you to drop a few hashtags as you share this content. First of all, hashtag commitment. Second, hashtag family. Third, hashtag CSFR. Okay? And we will see you next time on Common Sense for Relationships. Remember, like we always say, common sense
Is
It's
not
not
so
so
common.
common. Bye.